after the message was altered, that it didn't concern the time of the people after that because it was altered. Why would it concern them?
What did Abraham teach?
Oneness. He taught the same thing that Abraham taught the same thing.
One God.
Abraham taught the same thing that every other prophet before him taught.
One God, y'all. One God.
Yeah, can you go to the earliest records on Abraham and show us where he ever went to anybody and preached the oneness of God, or preached anything for that matter?
So, do you believe Abraham is a prophet? Yes or no?
No, bro. I asked you a simple question.
No, I'm asking you. I can only answer the question once I realize your standing point. If you don't believe Abraham is a prophet, then we can't have the conversation on that.
I'm answering your question. In the Hebrew scriptures, chapter 20 of Genesis, Abraham is the first person in the Bible to be called a Nabi, a prophet. Of course I believe he's a prophet.
Okay, so you believe he's a prophet, and you believe he's the first prophet?
No.
Okay, then. So there's prophets that came before him, right? So obviously, he's teaching the same prophecies that were taught by the other prophets. Similar prophecies, the oneness of God.
But where did
the laws of God?
Where did they teach the oneness of God?
What do you mean, oneness?
Chapter 11 of Luke, Jesus says that all the righteous blood shed from Abel down to Zechariah. So Jesus says the first prophet was Abel, one of the two sons of Adam and Eve, right? So where did Abel teach the oneness of God?
So you're telling me Abel became the first prophet?
I'm asking you a question, man.
Okay,
the correct answer is you can't show me where they talk.
It's
not documented.
Wait. So whatever your name is, right? You want me to give you an answer that's only befitting to your beliefs and ideologies, or you want me to give you a truthful answer, the one that I believe is the truth?
Remember, listen. One of my claims about the Quran is that it is a book of unsubstantiated claims. It makes a bunch of claims that nobody can historically or prophetically verify. And this is proof that that claim is true, because you are incapable of showing me anywhere in the earliest records of Abraham where he ever went to another people, a community. This is a man who was in Egypt, he was in Haran, he was in the Ur of the Chaldees in Mesopotamia, and nowhere do we ever have a record of him preaching the oneness of God to anybody.
So, this is your understanding. So can you please define to me what a prophet is?
Oh my gosh. He's one who receives revelations from God and speaks on behalf. Stubbornly interprets the world through the lens of that revelation. That's what a prophet is.
If the prophet is giving divine revelation from God, isn't that him giving the teachings of oneness of God to the people?
No, you keep saying oneness. Remember, bro, tear up the Dawa script. All right. You keep foregrounding oneness because it comes from this foreign prophetic tradition that the previous Abraham is not a part of that prophetic tradition that Muhammad is a part of.
And you think that it doesn't fit Moses as well? Didn't Moses teach the oneness?
Oh my gosh. Moses taught the Shema, chapter 6, verse 4.
Moses teach something different from what Abraham taught. If Moses is a prophet, why would he teach something different? Why would God want to teach something different to a different generation? Why would he do that?
Okay, the promises.
That's not the fitting of God.
Hang on, bro. Why are you talking over me when you just asked me a question? The covenants and promises of Abraham, they were mediated by.
He just cooked his whole Quran too, but
wait, what did you say?
Nothing.
Okay.
Answer the question.
Okay. The distinction between Abraham and Moses. Okay, so Moses received covenants and promises from Yahweh. Covenants have to be mediated by a priesthood. What priesthood mediated the Abrahamic covenant and promises?
I don't know. Can you enlighten me?
Yeah, Melchizedek, right? When we get to Moses, the covenant, the Mosaic covenant law was mediated by what priesthood?
Something that I believe in, so I wouldn't know something that I don't.
Levitical priesthood. Golly, man. It's like these dudes got so much estrogen flowing through their veins, man. Grow some testes, bro. Testes is the root word of testament. Start acting like a man. Hebrews chapter 7, verse 12 says, with the change of the law,
I got a statement, right? You can't bring anything in
of the law. There's also a change of the priesthood.
You can't bring up Hebrews. You can't bring up Hebrews because we don't know the author of Hebrews.
Yeah, because Abraham was a Hebrew. Genesis 14, verse 30.
No, bro, you can't bring up Hebrews because you don't know the author of Hebrews, bro. You can't bring that up. You can't bring that up as a book.
I can bring anything up.
No, because you can't verify, or your people cannot verify who the source is and where they got it from because you don't know the author. You can't say that this is divine revelation from God if you don't know the author.
Surat al-Baqarah. Surah 80, ayah 15 says that the Quran was written by noble scribes. What scribe wrote Surat al-Baqarah?
The companions of the Prophet.
Okay, so you don't know. Name the one who wrote it.
Oh no, we know that these.
Name the one.
Wait, I'm gonna tell you, bro. Just relax.
Watch this, everybody.
I'm gonna tell you. You know who wrote it? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote it, and He gave it to Angel Jibril to reveal. Allah's the author, not these scribes. They're just writing it down.
This is like a.
You don't know the author for your book, though. We know the author of our book is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We know the author. We know the author, bro.
There's more evidence for Santa Claus than there is for your Islamic Allah, bro.
That was true. We wouldn't have a Zamzam well in Saudi Arabia, brother. Come on, bro.
Oh man, he really believed that Zamzam well and Hagar was way down in Saudi Arabia. That is so cute. That you really believe that?
Can we get back to the topic?
I've been there. I've been there. What are you talking about?
Off on tangents, man.
Okay, that was one tangent, but
this is an opportunity for you to make a fool out of a Christian, man. I'm giving you that opportunity. All right.
I mean, I think Ahmed Deedat already made fools out of Christians before me.
Listen,
what are you talking about?
The reason why my brother, the Word, and I mentions the other 6 sons of Abraham is because you guys always argue as if the only other brother of Isaac was Ishmael. So when we get to Deuteronomy chapter 18, amongst your brethren, oh, well, that's talking about the Ishmaelites. How come it's not talking about Esau? How come it's not talking about the other 6 sons of Abraham?
Show me where Esau is mentioned in the time of Abraham.
Esau.
Show me his name. Show me his name. Show me Jesus' name mentioned. Show me Jesus' name mentioned.
It's not his name. His name is Yahushua. Yahweh saves.
No.
Yes.
It's not.
Yes.
You want to think that oh yeah, this is what it means.
Bro, can you calm down, man?
I'm calm, bro. I'm very calm. I'm not like here arguing with you. I just want to have like a discussion and understand.
I answered your question as to why the other sons of Abraham are mentioned in this argument.
They're not relevant in this argument at all because the promise was given to that Ishmael would have a blessed kingdom, you know?
Right, in chapter 25.
And you don't think this, bro? The thing is, I've talked to Jews.
Let him talk. He just let you talk. Let him talk. Calm down.
So in the same chapter 25, where Abraham's other sons, born to him by Keturah, right, are mentioned, the 12 princes that were promised to Ishmael are also mentioned. His genealogy is mentioned in chapter 25 of Genesis.
I understand that. But what I'm failing to understand is how you're a Christian and you're not accepting that Ishmael and the Arabs are not linked when the Jews, and when I have conversations with the Jews, they can admit that. They could admit that Ishmael is linked to Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. They say that all the time. They've said that all the time.
This is in the rabbinical writings in Sifrei Deuteronomy 3:43. So in Sifrei Deuteronomy 3:43, once again, Talmudic Jews, they said, when the all-present revealed himself to give the Torah to Israel, not to them alone did he manifest himself, but to all the nations. Now, I edited this, right, just so that we could skip to what it says about Ishmael, right? So he goes through all of these nations where he first tried to persuade the people to accept the Torah, and they all turned it down. So now he gets to Ishmael's people. He went and found the children of Ishmael and said to them, will you accept the Torah? They asked, what was written in it? He replied, thou shalt not steal. The Ishmaelites said to him, sovereign of the universe, the very life of our ancestor depended on robbery. As it is said, he shall be a wild ass of a man among men. His hand shall be against every man, right? So they were like, no, we reject it because, I'm kind of bringing this back to Tobias Singer, right? Now, Tobias Singer knows that Muslims, his favorite audience, right, that they believe that their religion is Abrahamic through Ishmael, right? But even when we read the Targums and we read the rabbinical writings, Sifrei Deuteronomy, okay, he's not telling them this. He, as a rabbinical Jew, cannot accept Ishmael as a prophet, right? Here's Bamidbar Rabbah, right? Bamidbar is how you say, that's the Hebrew name for the book of Numbers. So it just means in the wilderness. Midbar. Be Midbar. The preposition is be, which means in, right? And it states, the Holy One, blessed be he, gave Israel 2 Torahs, the written and the oral. He gave them the written Torah, in which are 613 commandments, in order to fill them with precepts whereby they could earn merit. He gave them the oral Torah, whereby they could be distinguished from the other nations. This was not given in writing, so that the Ishmaelites would not fabricate it as they have done the written Torah and say that they are Israel. Just like they always like to say the kingdom was taken away from them and given to us, right? Given to another nation. All right, so just think about it. I mean, when's the last time anybody heard Islam's favorite rabbi tell them this? He's a rabbinical Jew. He's supposed to believe this. So if he's honestly holding to his rabbinical teachings, he cannot accept Ishmael as a prophet. And he's not telling them that Deuteronomy 33:2 is not about Ishmael, because the ancient Targums show that they rejected it. They rejected the Torah. Like I said, he's able to do that because they're Muslims. A Muslim is not going to do research. They're just not. Like I said, look at that Dawa script. They got it when they were 5. They're 50 now, 45 years, and they're still saying the same old stuff. All the prophets came with the same message. There's no way you can study the prophets and see that they all came with the same message. I don't remember Isaiah receiving the revelation of the valley of the dry bones, or Joel or Zechariah. That was given to the prophet Ezekiel. I don't believe Ezekiel was told where the Messiah would be born. I believe that was given to the prophet Micah. They didn't all come with the same message. Even that there's only one God. When did Ezekiel in 48 chapters ever go around? His ministry lasted 30 years. When did he ever go around saying, oh, there's only one God? God is one. It's just, Tobias Singer knows his audience. He knows his audience is not going to um, listen. They're just going to, as long as it helps them fight against Christianity, that's all they care about. As long as he's saying negative stuff about Christianity, that's all they care about. They don't care about whether or not it's true. But when I listen to him, there's a whole lot of stuff that he's not telling them, particularly about who he is and what he's supposed to believe as a rabbinical Jew. As a matter of fact, he's not even supposed to be teaming up with them. I mean, a real rabbi who swears filthy by the rabbinical teachings is not going to be comfortable having a big Muslim fan club. But I know that rabbis, Tobias Singer is not what Dr. Michael Brown. Dr. Michael Brown is an actual scholar. He's recognized, and in other words, I can read theology books and see other scholars deferring to him or quoting him. Okay, I don't know how many rabbis I study. Rabbi Hajiev, Lawrence Schiff, Rabbi Lawrence Schiffman, Sanmel, Tobias Locks. You study them, and I see them quoting Daniel Boyarin or Benjamin Summer, or right. They all quote these other scholars. They never quote Tobias Singer. Never. I mean, he's not a recognized scholarly rabbi at all. I'm pretty sure many of them are embarrassed at it. I'm just being honest. I mean, the way that I built up my library with Christian theologians and scholars and stuff is because I just started reading one theology book. I tell people all the time, the first systematic theology book I ever read was called Basic Theology by Charles Ryrie. I recommend it to any Christian to this day. It's a little tough if you don't know theological language, but they have things like theological dictionaries and stuff that'll help you with the terms and stuff like that. But from there, he's quoting Peters and Gabeline and Louis Berkhoff and all of these, and the next thing you know, I'm buying those scholars' books, right? And that's what I'm saying. Nobody name drops in the rabbinical era. None of them name drop Tobias Singer as a reputable rabbinical scholar or rabbi at all. None of them do. I'm just looking at the ancient targums. I'm looking at the Sifrei. At other rabbinical writings and stuff like that. And particularly when you get past the Talmud and you're in the Middle Ages, Islam and Muhammad are made out to be Antichrist nations. They're like the Antichrist nation, the whole nine. Just things that Tobias Singer, if he was really holding to his rabbinical teachings, he's like going against what he was taught, just so that he can befriend some Muslims and stuff. So, who, by the way, according to Islam, he is their biggest enemy, the polytheist and the Jew.